Recluse author Loretta Sage writes about exotic places in her popular adventure novels that feature a handsome cover model named Alan. While on her tour promoting her new book with Alan, Loretta gets kidnapped by an eccentric billionaire who hopes she can lead him to an ancient city's lost treasure from her latest story. That is
The dumbest thing
the
ever.
synopsis for The Lost City. Jason, in one sentence, how would you review The Lost City?
Man, Sandra Bullock is still fine.
Beautiful review. Mine would be this is a white adventure version of How Stella Got Her Groove Back.
Yep.
Jason, tell us your review of The Lost City.
That's also, I mean, I'm fine with Stella getting her groove back. You know, Sandra Bullock is pushing 60. She is 57 years old, and she's still looking good. And what's the boy's name? Channing Tatum. He's only like 41. Like y'all shouldn't even be hanging out in the same movie. But normally in most movies, it would be vice versa. It would be like some old grumpy dude with some 20-year-old, and then you're supposed to believe they have something in common where they're going to be like, oh yeah, we're gonna fall in love. Let's be like, when I first saw the previews for this movie, I thought this is going to be the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I thought this is going to be god awful terrible. I thought it was going to be garbage. I thought it was going to be trash, and I was pleasantly surprised that I was mostly right. But in that, throughout this thing, I'm laughing, I'm giggling, I'm hee-hee-hawing. Channing Tatum has this natural comic timing that even when he's giving this truly awful garbage material to work with, he's still so charming and funny that he can make it work. Sandra Bullock, she's Sandy Bullock. She plays the same character very well, you know, so there's no it's good, it's fine. Daniel Radcliffe, not the best choice for a villain. He's 4'1". He still looks like Harry Potter, but he's British, so he's automatically scary. But this movie is exactly what you get on the 10. It is silly. It is stupid. It is a 90s rom-com with 20 this century's sensibilities. It is nothing here that is overly offensive, other than the fact that every Hispanic person is a stereotype. But even then, they're funny. So you know, the black sidekick doesn't say damn shit that is whack. She actually has a moment of some like this shit is I'm tired. I just want to take a nap, but I gotta find my friend. So like, let's go. So like, I felt that in my soul. So it is. That's what it is. It's likable. It's enjoyable.
It is. That's what it is. That is the quote of the year, right? It is. It is what
like,
it is.
I found myself like having a little fun with this movie. But I completely like, this is like will be my one time where like probably Jason's gonna tear it apart, and I'm like, this is the Halloween like horror movie. Like I guess like for me it's rom-coms where I'm just like, okay, I laughed. That's all that really mattered. So like, I don't care what's going on. I was laughing, so that's all that really matters. So yeah, I did have fun, even though I was the only like male in the audience of this watching this.
Right.
Biological cisgendered male watching this movie that wasn't dragged by his girlfriend.
I'm gonna come out with something blasphemous and then tie it all back together with the review. So my blasphemous comment is I feel like Sandy Bullock is our era's Lucille Ball when it comes to physical comedy. Like, Sandra Bullock is really good at physical comedy. And one of the bigger things with Lucille Ball, besides her genius and her revolutionary way that she reshaped the whole women comedians in Hollywood, I mean, I'm just keeping it strictly to Sandra as a performer. I don't think there's any woman out there that does physical comedy now as good as she does physical comedy on a consistent basis. I mean, from Miss Congeniality to what was that movie, The Heat, to The Proposal. There's moments in there of the physical comedy of her that are just laugh out loud hilarious. Like, it's a part in here with the sleeping bag, bunk bed. Like, it's just Like,
That's funny.
even you
It's
just
funny.
laugh just thinking about it. Yeah,
It's
like,
funny.
like I don't think it's anyone out here that does physical comedy on a level that she does it consistently so well. So when I say that, before people kill me about it, I'm saying that in the sense of like Lucille Ball was the one that could bring the smart ditzy character to a screen and have her go through the shenanigans, and people would laugh, but still appreciated Lucy for being real. Sandra Bullock has this realness about her, but has this goofy side that comes out even when she plays real serious characters, especially if you look at Lucille Ball's later years when she got out of the I Love Lucy stage and she was helping a lot of other young comedians get their footing. She usually played the straight quote unquote man, but a straight woman in those scenarios, but still kept that physical comedy thing about her. Sandra Bullock gave me vibes of that when I watched this movie. So now that I got the blasphemy out of the way, let's go into this movie. I like so many things about this movie. It's just the biggest thing that needed to be done is that let's go to the things I like, because then I'm gonna shit on the rest of it. So let's go to the things I like. I like that this movie it was shot in the real jungle, and it looked like that. I remember watching the movie, and I turned to my wife, and I was like, I wonder if they did some shots on location, because this looks really really good. Like, it doesn't look like it's on some set in some Hollywood studio. It looks like they were in, and found out they did actually film in Dominican Republic jungles. Great. That's like old school Hollywood stuff, filming on site and filming on site and location. This felt like old Hollywood too, except like you said, usually would be a grumpy old man with a young like bimbo, where you got the himbo with the grumpy older woman. I thought that was great. It felt like, it felt like old Hollywood. It felt like a reimagining of like those old movies that I used to love us in the 50s and 60s. And so I was here for it. And I was like, this is really fun watching the woman be the smart one, etc. The problem with this is that you don't need all this storyline. And I know that's weird coming from a person that always talks about, hey, the story sucked and blah, blah. It's too much story here. It's way too much story here. This movie should have literally just been, hey, guy captures Sandy and accidentally captures the model, brings him over to go figure this out, and let the antics ensue. The end.
Mm-hmm.
This movie was, no, capture Sandy. Himbo sees it. They try to go report it. Nobody believes it. Himbo has a scheme to go figure to find her out. Himbo goes with the scheme. Sandy has this one passage to try to figure out how to solve, which is almost the most idiotic thing for anything. But then let's go to the fact that, like, the reason why she's kidnapped is because this guy's trying to prove himself to his family that he's not a complete worthless nobody. And which is a good storyline to have, and goes into your thought of him being 4'11" and all that, because that makes sense. Like, he looks like a clown, and his strategy and his idea of how he's doing this is very clownish. It's the reason why your family doesn't respect you, because you're an idiot, because this is a dumb plan.
Because if you were actually archaeologists and not trying to find some treasure, they'd be like, "Oh, we respect you. You're an archaeologist. You found a lost city. Like, that's the fucking thing right there.
Yes,
like, you did something. Congratulations."
So, yeah, exactly. So you do that, and then it's like Himbo makes it to Alan. Himbo does X, Y, and Z, because I don't want to spoil some things that go in there, which I heard one of the surprises were spoiled in one of the trailers. I didn't see that trailer, so I was pleasantly surprised by one of the cameos that were in the movie, because I didn't know he was going to be in the movie. So that was cool.
Oh, that was totally spoiled the trailer.
Again, like I said, I didn't watch the trailer. That's what I'm saying. I didn't watch the trailer. So then we have the whole thing with the publicist or whatever her job is, and it's a lot. It's a lot, guys. When I tell you this, and then when her adventures end up picking up other characters that end up helping with the end of the adventure, and it's just a lot. And when I say this, this is a rom-com. Keep it simple, stupid. Like, let's just kiss. Keep it simple, stupid, because all I wanted to see was Sandy Bullock and Channing Tatum. And when they finally do get together, like they're in the same screen with each other, it's the best parts of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of the star of the movie, which is Daniel Radcliffe. Daniel Radcliffe deserved more screen time in this movie. He was awesome in this role. The fact that I still remember his name, Abigail Fairfax, one, because it's a weird name, but two, they kept saying it. It was almost like to say, hey, don't call him Harry Potter
his brother,
no more. Don't call him Harry Potter no more.
He has a brother. He has two brothers. One named Leslie, the other one named Beverly. And he's like, "Oh, these are all unisex names." I was like, "What?"
And I thought that was so good. It was so good. And like you said, when he would get upset and menacing, it was part like fear, but also part like, dude, you're 4'11", I would knock you out. So, but it worked. Like I thought he was the perfect cast, and when I say perfect casting, it all goes into how he performed the role. He performed that to a T. He felt like he was privileged. He felt like he was a snotty like brat, but he also felt like almost to an inkling of you felt sorry for him because you're like you're working so hard to get this approval of your parents because you feel like you haven't got it. But again, I think he's the star of the show, and I feel like they should have gave him more screen time.
It also feels like he also, even though he's doing all those things very well, he's also not taking it so seriously as to ruin the tone of the movie, right?
Absolutely,
he's still hamming it up a little bit here, because he's the mustache twirling villain, and he's playing that, but with layers to it. That's what's fun about that.
Absolutely, and I agree 100%. That's a great encapsulation of his acting on it. But like I said, going through the whole thing is the movie just it bogs itself down because it's trying to do so much plot. Like I'm gonna use this term, and people misuse this term a lot. The term of high concept, like high concept horror, high concept rom-com. High concept just means you have a lot of threads going on. And you're able to make a story that is very heavily storyline, and you mend it together, and that's why it's high concept. High concept doesn't mean like, oh, well, they're doing a philosophical take on blah blah blah. No. Yeah. This was a high concept rom-com, but it should never be a thing called a high concept rom-com. But you do have some, like, what is it, like Love Actually? It's a high concept rom-com. This ain't it. You don't need that here. Like, you don't need any of that here. You just go with what you got. You got the stars, and the stars are good. And the last bite of only criticism I really had that kind of bothered me on this is that I think they made Channing Tatum character too dumb. That it was almost it was too hard to redeem him. So when he does get redeemed, I felt like it wasn't earned because this dude went from not understanding that humans are mummies to all of a sudden being smart enough that like she's accepting him, not maybe as an equal, but at least of an interest. Because they literally put in the movie that, oh, I'm only attracted to brains and like personalities and all that.
Sapiosexual or whatever. This dude
right.
Moron.
Yeah, like so.
Also, a good joke. Dumb. You're like a human mummy. All mummies are human.
Right. That's just, like, oh man, it's just like what about ancient Greece? It's like we could never go to ancient Greece.
We can't go to ancient Greece. It doesn't exist.
But it's like you made them too dumb. And when you make somebody that dumb, and when you make other characters set up as being so appreciative of intelligence, it's very hard for you to redeem him that quickly. Like you can't. And then if you were going to do it, I feel like Sandra Bullock should have took a note from her character in Speed 2. When she talks about how tragedy and trauma, you can't have a healthy relationship both on tragedy and trauma. Well, she forgot about that one. 20 some years later, she was like, that chick didn't know what she was talking about. Let's just do that. But yeah, I guess if you want to, we can go into ratings then, unless you have anything you want to add to this.
Nope. It's pretty. Let's rate this mother. Let's rate her.
All right, let's rate her. Okay, gotta make sure. Yes, rate. We're gonna rate her.
Rate. There's a T in there, everybody. Yeah. Yes, I know. Some of y'all see two black guys, and then y'all be like, "Oh no."
Yeah. Throw the basketball to get her off of them. Get them off of her. Anyway.
I used to love that joke. It's so terrible.
Yeah, it is a terrible joke. Very terrible joke. Yes. I will give this. I will give this a 2.5 out of 5. Man, I enjoyed myself. Do I ever want to sit back through this again? Nope. But while I was sitting in it, I enjoyed myself.
I will give it a 3 out of 5. I cracked up a lot during this movie. Once again, I probably would never watch this again. But if I'd probably watch this again if I had a significant other to share this with, and who doesn't want to watch, another Halo or whatever, want something a little bit more lighter affair. So I'll give it a 3 out of 5.
Okay. I like what we did.
And that lady is that lady is 57 years old, man. I just can't believe that.
Yeah. I mean,
she old enough to be Channing Tatum's mom.
Yeah. I know black don't crack, but I guess white can be all right.
Sandy don't Randy, I guess. I don't know.
So, but guys, like we said before, always remember one. I did it this time, Jason. I made sure.
Oh, you got a can.
Yeah. Make sure you get that nerd focus in you. Again, a link will be in the description. Go and get you a case. I'm up here. I got the sugar-free, 0-calorie one that I'm showing everybody. The blue
It's
can.
delicious.
All right. And then, as always, make sure you check that out. And then, let's say you broke. Let's say like you balling on a budget like me and Jason. You out here doing your thing, working every day. But you're like, man, in Word for Nerd, Headcanon Circus, I would love to support you guys at Nerd Focus because I enjoy energy drinks too. But I'd rather just get mine at the dollar, a little cheaper at the dollar store or at the gas station. I ain't balling like that. And I'm like,
my child support payment ain't come in yet.
Right. No worries. We ain't mad at you. We get it. We live in the same lifestyle. But know what you can do to help us out then? Just share. Share the content, man.
Like
Jason likes to say it, sharing is caring. Yeah, share. Sharing is caring. Like, share, subscribe. If you want to choose just one out of the 3, share it to people. But if you want to follow us and come and kick it with us more often, subscribe as always. But by all means, man, like I said, that's the easiest way that you can help us is just getting the show out there for the masses.